emoji magic. The word emoji itself is analogous to the Sanskrit word OMG, meaning born of cosmic unity. So, how are emojis part of sigil magic from the 72 lesser keys of Solomon, you ask? Well, seeing is believing. If you're skeptical about the possibility of emojis being derived from the sigils in the lesser key of Solomon and other grimoires, take a closer look and see for yourself. Here is Asmodeus, as mentioned before, a leader of the Shayateen. Here is Baal or Baal, whose mention still echoes in the modern age. Here is Lilith, who is essentially an archetype of Allat. And here is Pazuzu, represented by this demon in our emojis. The sigils found in the lesser key of Solomon grimoire are said to have evolved over generations, a common practice in the occult where inscriptions are adapted to fit the cultural context of that region. As a result, the sigils of demons in the lesser key of Solomon have been transformed and resemble many of the emojis prevalent in the modern world. Interestingly, most of us use these emojis without any knowledge of their origins. These sigils are concealed within the vast array of emojis akin to inscriptions within amulets or talismans. In a nutshell, emoji magic is the combination of a charm or charms drawn after a sigil, usually in the form of a face, and is charged through the emotions they evoke. The witches and warlocks who use this modern form of magic state that
emoji magic is not different than sigil magic. Emoji spells can contain layers of secret meaning. Young witches are using emojis to create unique visual spells they can cast with their phones and computers. What makes emoji magic very unique is that it is universal, as humans can easily ascribe their emotions or energy to these smileys depicting emotion. The primary challenge with symbolic magic lay in its lack of universality. However, with the establishment of the Unicode Consortium, the magicians now have the opportunity to create a general standard for symbols and standardized sigils or charms as emojis globally. Symbols and images play crucial roles as focal points for a practitioner's intention and will, aiding in concentrating and directing the mental and spiritual energies necessary for magical acts. These emojis can be imbued with power to represent cosmic forces, deities, or supernatural entities. Through the utilization of these symbols, practitioners seek to access and harness these forces more readily, facilitating the practice of magic, which is play with words, symbolic colors, and natural imagery to turn an intention into a magic image. The sigil. Emoji magic is the exact same thing as sigil magic. And when an emoji spell is liked or shared on social media, it gathers a charge. The more charges, the more powerful it can become.
Some people may contest, stating that it's merely a harmless image which transforms into data once your phone is switched off, and it's certainly not an object of worship. Allah's sovereignty and lordship extends even into the realms of the digital world. He is the Lord of all the worlds, encompassing everything in our reality and beyond, including all the dimensions, from the micro to the macro, the apparent and the hidden. Even the worlds we have imagined and tried to illustrate, Allah is the Lord of these worlds. The believer upholds Tawheed by both affirmation, acknowledgement, and affirming the oneness of Allah in His Lordship, Rububiyyah, Divinity, Uluhiyyah, names, Asma, and attributes, Sifat, and negation, rejecting any form of association, partnership, or similarity with Allah in His Lordship, Divinity, names, or attributes. True Tawheed is realized only when it encompasses both these aspects. While you recognize that creating images is unjust, it's also necessary to actively reject the act of making them. Actions speak louder than words. A thought-provoking verse comes to mind. He who made for you the earth a bed spread out, and the sky a ceiling, and sent down from the sky rain, and brought forth thereby fruits, as provision for you. So do not attribute to Allah equals, while you know that there is nothing similar to Him. Allah can forgive everything on the Day of Judgment except for shirk. Consider the nature of these images. While one may have a malevolent appearance, the other seems harmless, akin to a cartoon, yet they depict the shayateen. Be wary of the subtleties of shirk, which can be beautified and hidden. This deception is an ancient trick of Iblis, who beautifies the evils.